Stuart, back for our final update of the year. We'll quickly go over the last three Leith fixtures. We started off with Arnie on the big pitch.
Yeah, we probably didn't pass the ball that well. We had a couple of good chances, a couple of good moves, but I don't think we played great. I thought the second half we were excellent. I think we ramped up the intensity significantly and scored some good goals. Brandon scored our first really good piece of football, great ball by Kyle. And then Kieran scores Yashu scores our second, a good header. It had a great piece of play to actually win the corner. Kieran scores a great goal, and then Adam scores as well in his last game in CP. So no, it was a good result in the end. I'm really pleased with the second half performance. First half wasn't great, but it was a really good step in the right direction for the final three. We then went on to play in Preston. The press, I just didn't think we got going. I thought we were poor. Didn't pass the ball in the first half at all. I think it's probably the poorest we've been in a number of weeks, and just struggled to get the ball off the back, struggled to control the game, and I think going back kind of behind so early really kind of, I don't know, put us out of rhythm completely. Jamie has a good chance, I think it was all 1-0. But other than that, in the first half, I think we created very little. And then got 2-0 down. And to be fair, I thought we started the second half a bit better. We probably created a bit more. Also, we get back in the game from Adam, and Jake has to leave the pitch early, unfortunately. Jake's now in crutches, went to see a specialist about his knee. The ref stopped the game correctly because it was clearly really serious. But no, I felt over the piece, did we deserve something in the game? A point at the most probably. First half performance was really poor, and probably it's not a lot like us, to be honest. Just didn't pass the ball very well, didn't control the game. I thought Preston looked decent, and to be fair, it kind of shows again how strong the league is. Then played obviously finished the season with Leith on Friday in similar fashion. Conceded relatively early. We started okay, quite easy peaksy. After they score, I think Leith had complete control of the first half. Again, we had one really good passage of play. I think at 1-0. I think if we score, it might change the game. Yashu had a good chance again in the first half, which they put over. But again, Leith controlled majority of the first half. Deserved to be ahead. Until we got back in the game from Adam, I didn't think we probably looked like getting back in it. And in the end, we probably threatened a wee bit more than what kind of the general performance wanted. I think Leith deserved the 3 points, but clearly you don't want to finish the league season with two defeats. But I think it's probably testament to kind of injuries and things that we can end the season probably coming at a good time.
Just looking back on the season as a whole, Stuart, how would you view the season finishing sixth?
Our squad's changed significantly throughout the season. At the start of the season, I think we had a much more experienced squad. That's changed for several reasons. And that transition that we probably expected to happen at the end of the season has happened throughout. So that's hard to deal with throughout a season, and that probably has impacted our form a wee bit. Our ability to put results together. Kind of boys probably felt in the team that it was a wee bit the squad was changing throughout the season, so it's hard to get a wee bit of rhythm. But that being said, I genuinely believe that the group have done really well. I feel that this season particularly we've had a style. We've tried to stick to that style. There's been games like in any kind of football match that maybe don't go your way and you don't play the way you want to play. But I feel generally our style has been good this year, and we've tried to control games. There's been some great results. Again, kind of for examples, I felt the first game of the season I thought we were brilliant against Pennycook. Played really well, and for the game and finished 4-3. But I thought for 45 minutes, I thought it was the best we've ever been. Beat Harrington in the new year with a really good performance. Went on and beat South late in the season with a really young team. That was really positive. So there was loads of highlights this year. As I say, we've kept the same amount of league clean sheets as we did last season, and we finished second. We have conceded more, but again, that's kind of a feather in the cap. A lot of young boys that have come in and even the more experienced boys who have played alongside them and kind of taught them through games. So there's been a lot of positives to be had. Again, this is what we're talking to the group about, is that Dunbar is in a place where we're a bit off the beaten track, and I think people think Dunbar's further away than what it actually is. In the summer we probably did try and recruit, and from the squad that we had last season, we probably lost more than we thought, and I think at points it was like we found it hard to bring players to Dunbar, and the good thing now I feel is that we had to do that because we didn't have players of age at the Colts to bring through. We're now in a position where, because we've had so much transition this season and kind of senior players or elder players not being involved anymore, we've now almost given them free experience. So we're now going to next season where we're going to be a very young team, but actually a lot of these boys have gained experience this year. Fraser's played nearly 30 games at centre half as a 16-year-old. Do you know what I mean? So swings and roundabouts, clearly would have liked to finish higher up the league, but with that being said, having started the 20s in 2022, in our 3 seasons we've never finished lower than mid-table against some of the most established clubs in this region. I think the squad and the rest of the coaching staff deserve a pat on the back. I think again that's a good achievement.
Obviously mentioned the squad there, quite a few boys have made a step up into the first team as well.
Daniel, Gregor and Jason have all made the full step up this year. So, well, not this year, sorry, since we started, but so Gregor essentially in our first year. Daniel, as well as that, kind of featured a lot last season. Sorry, kind of not past season before that. But Daniel and Jason particularly have kind of stepped up and signed first team contracts. So essentially we had 1 in our first season and 2 this season. So over the 3 seasons, the first team have got 3 players from the 20s who are now featuring regularly, scoring goals, contributing and assets now for the club, massive assets. Throughout that period we've had around 20 players make an appearance for the first team, which has been massive and ultimately why we're here. So it's been a massive success, and again you look at this season, Jason's maybe not featured as much as we did in the first half of the season. In the second half, due to how much he's played with the first team, but also been niggle injuries and things. And you look at, obviously we've not had Daniel since October, understandably he's made the step up, brilliant, and we've had Gregor twice this season. So you're taking potentially over the course of kind of since we started, you're taking so many goals out of our team. So naturally there's going to be a wee kind of lull and kind of dominating your scoring as many goals. So it's all natural, but again you've seen 3 players now become first team players and massive assets to the club. Ultimately that's why we're here.
Obviously the other way around as well, the Colts involvement in the 20s.
Yeah, again I think off the top of my head we've had around 10 players on the Colts feature this year from our 16s and 17s combined. From the under 17s particularly, we've had a number of dual registered players, and again I think you look across the East Conference, and I think anyone who wants a 20s team or wants to run a 20s team, you have to have a good local youth club behind you to ensure the continuous number of players coming in. It's clearly possible without a youth club. You can recruit every season, but it's hard. It's really hard, and I'm not saying there's one correct way to do it. I think you've seen this year, for example, there's a number of very good teams in our league that are over the years have always been good 20s teams, always been very good teams, and they probably take a wee bit less from their community clubs. They've seen a number of progression to first teams, etc., which has been great, and ultimately why they're there, which is great. But I think what we really try to do in Dunbar is we're trying to bleed kind of, so that's a bit of a wrong phrase, but bring players through from our kind of youth setup and get them into the 20s and through our kind of pathway. But what we do in return is that we're very willing to give young boys a chance. Our youth players are worked with from kind of 14, 15, 16. I feel we've got a really good solid model at Dunbar in the sense that we've got Colts kids coming through and Colts kids appearing for the 20s, and whether we're here or whoever's here, you've got that model there where Colts kids can aspire to come and play higher. It's great.
Just looking back on the season overall, what would you take as a positive from it?
again, just touching upon there, probably was we've now finally been able to really utilise dual registrations and bring young boys through. I think that's been massive, absolutely massive. I feel in our first season particularly, obviously we brought a full 05 kind of cohort through with a sprinkling of 06s as well. But we weren't able to depend on anyone. And since we've been able to do that with the dual registrations, I think that's been brilliant. I think again it's helped with kind of the inspiration in younger age groups. I think they see it and they can believe it can be them. I think another positive as well is that I think we've got a proper style. I feel we've done really well in terms of getting a style across, and I think we've played in a style that's going to help our players develop. We don't play boom ball, we don't kick the ball back to front all the time, and I think that's going to help our players hopefully make a step up to Chris's first team. So no, I think there's loads of positive. You can look at loads of results and throughout the season, but I think the two big ones is we finally managed to get a lot of young players through, and when now that feeder process is in full flow, and we can look forward to that. We're kind of working even more over the years, and I feel we've really established the way we want to play this year. That's probably been detriment at points. You probably can see goals for it, but as the years go on and as next season continues, I think we'll really reap the benefits from that.
And just on the flip side of that, what would you class as a negative from the season?
I think the movement in squad, we wouldn't want the movement that we've had. I think it works in two ways. Like, a lot of players have gone out and really benefit from loan spells. Leo, Lyle, Thomas out for a while. We've had a number of players go out on loan throughout the season, which has been great for them. It's been a hard season. We've had more movement than what we thought. But we kind of knew this being our third season, particularly with a lot of the 05 boys becoming too old next year. There was going to be a point that the transition was going to happen. We'd like the transition to happen at the end of the season, but it's happened probably throughout. But now we're in a position where we've got a settled squad and are ready to go next year. So loads of learnings for all of us, players, coaches. But I think over the piece, I think we've been a good watch this season for a number of games.
And just looking forward on, Stuart, obviously looking forward to pre-season next season.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. To be honest, it's always something that you're kind of looking at as the season draws to a close, and we've now got a full squad in our WhatsApp. We're ready to go. We'll be back on the 30th, Monday the 30th of June. We've got 6 fixtures lined up. They're all good to go. So we're looking forward to it. Probably seen we've virtually stopped advertising now for players, and we're going to really focus on bringing the young team in from the Colts, and we're still going to have a really established core from last season. A lot of boys have picked up really valuable experience throughout this season, and they're ready to go for next. So we've got a squad of 20 signed, ready to go. Just counting down the days, time for a bit of a rest, I think, and let the boys recover. They've done really well for us this year, and I think that they clearly deserve that. But I think that wee break, I think they'll be ready to go, hungry to really tackle well and challenge and lead next year as well, I think.
And just finally, Stuart, a word for our sponsors and supporters throughout the season.
Yeah, no, extremely grateful. Again, we've typically had Stacey Group again on the away shirts and Blueprint, who have sponsored a number of things over the years, so grateful to you both. Luckily for the new group, they're going to have a large quantity of new kit coming in, so we'll announce those sponsors in due course. So I'm grateful to them. We're still looking for 1 or 2 bits for training t-shirts, and if anyone was interested, give us a shout. But no, as ever, we wouldn't be able to run without sponsors, etc. So extremely grateful to you all. So thank you very much, and thank you as ever for your support over our third season. Really appreciate it.
Stuart, well done for the season and enjoy your summer.
Thank you.